All right, going live here. It is the evening of the Wednesday evening. I think it's the 7th of December, 2022. Starting up a chat, not sure what's gonna happen in this chat. We shall see. It's kind of late as well. Welcome to the stream, just starting out. Let me know how the mic is as well. There's a little bit of a wind, and I'm not currently holding a dead cat at the moment. I can get one if we need it. What's going on here? What's exciting? There are people working here. There's a bunch of vehicles here on the site. Just a lot of workers here, a lot of trucks. It's a little bit cooler than normal. Hey, Javon, Javon. Good evening. I was standing here to the right of the tower there. It's kind of a nice lit up area. I might do a zoom in over there. Yeah, Carl, good morning. Good evening. What an evening. Hey, Julian. Yeah, so what's going on here? We have the illuminated Aura launch platform there on the left. It is illuminated, means lit up. And we got the magical tower to the right of it. Old Faithful, the tower on the right. There are a couple of different lifts on the Aura launch platform. Looks like they're doing some welding there. We can see in the middle of the screen at the bottom there definitely some sparks flying like a bat out of hell. The occasional spark that we see. Yeah, it looks like there's people all over that Aura launch platform. Okay, Carl says they poured the first new section of the wall on top of the berm today. I forgot to check that out. And they began tearing out the fondag concrete that was put in under the Aura launch mount just before the last static fire. Yeah, I think earlier today, Starship Gazer posted some photos of underneath the Aura launch mount. It could have been last night, but I think it was today that I saw that. And I'm gonna zoom out here for a moment here. We've got a pipe, incoming pipe here. I'm not sure where that's going. It looks like maybe it's a goner. Maybe that pipe is I don't know. It's kind of hanging in a strange way. See if they go to the. There is a. I'm not sure where they're going with that pipe. A while back to the left here, there used to be a dumpster with stuff in it. But it looks, yeah, they might be circling back to there. Evening, guys. Mark, good stuff. It looks like they're going to pad A with that pipe, with that tubing. A couple of fishermen coming in back from the beach there, we just saw. Let me check out here just to the right of the tower, see if there's something interesting going on there. We're probably going to be live streaming for a good part of this of December, so check back in if you're just tuning in for a moment or two. I'm using my iPhone Pro 12 Max right now. I may break out the Nikon this week and start doing clips and putting them together into videos. I used to do that in the past, but since I'm not really live streaming during the daytime with a Nikon, I could, but it's a little sketchy with the solar power onto the battery there. I might just pull it out and start using it as I used to go around the site and get really good close-up shots and put together a video with those shots. Yeah, I don't see much going on to the bottom right of the tower there, but it's nicely lit up. A day or two ago, there was a bunch of stuff here on the left, a bunch of different things, and they were doing, it looked like some work maybe on some of the piping here at the methane tank farm. It looked like there were some extra pipes hanging around down here. I'll look around and see if there's anything we can see that's new here with the piping. Yeah, it's very clean. It's very clean. They cleaned it up nicely. Whatever they did with those pipes that were laying here, there were several of them just hanging out right in front of this methane tank here. Good. Whatever it is, they kind of fixed it up. All right, that's kind of news. Some news there. I'll check the platform again once more. Let me move the tripod up. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, remember to subscribe. This is Carl West. Good stuff. Thank you. I've been doing a kind of a later night show during the week, at least, just starting a couple days ago. Anywhere between 8 p.m. Central Time to, it's currently 10:06 Central Time, which would be about 9:06 Mountain Time and 8:06, I believe, Pacific Time. It'd be 11 Eastern Time. If you're international, I'm sorry I can't help you too much with that. It's about 6-hour difference, I believe, for the UK, and about 13 for, if you're in Perth, Australia, it'd be about 13-hour difference. So. Eight minutes into the stream. Yeah, my name is Paul Marcos. I'm kind of the one of the guys here at OceanCam, the head guy mostly, because there's no other guys here. And I've been doing a lot of the videos for the last year and a half, 2 years, and moving it forward. Today I was reaching out to, I kind of go into what I did today a little bit. I was reaching out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn. I shot a couple of videos this morning. I guess I'll do a summary of the day. I was hanging out this morning down by the beach, and I saw that, what's it called? I'm trying to remember the name of it. I saw the float plane, not the float plane, but it was the hover boat. That's right, the Explorer 24. Coming into the bay there, so I started filming that because I didn't post it yet, but I did a bunch of video this morning for a street neighborhood update of the new buildings getting built out on that 4th Street of Boca Chica Boulevard, and I didn't put it into a video yet, but I was thinking about doing that, and then that's when that boat started pulling up after I'd gotten all that footage for these streets. It's just really good timing, and I was there at the same time, so I got that shot of the boat coming in. I did a bunch of connections today on LinkedIn with a whole bunch of people, and I did find hey, Ken from South Florida, good stuff. I don't know if it's South or not, I forgot, but good evening. I found a video about the Enceladus Orbalander. There was the initial submission to NASA for the decadal review for the Enceladus mission, but there was a post. There was it was a reaction, like the first reaction. Central Florida says, Ken, good stuff. There was a reaction from NASA to the proposal, and I found that video today. It was published in August on YouTube. It's actually unlisted, so the only way I could have found it was to be looking for on Google for some type of Enceladus NASA type of thing. And that's what I was doing. I was searching around trying to find more new info, and I came across that unlisted video, and I did post it here in the chat on the community section here at OceanCam or Space Corp. But it shows that from now through, it shows the different types of funding that they're planning to do for the next 10 years. And they break it up into 5-year segments. So from 2020 to 2030, and they show that they plan on spending like $41 billion or something like dollars over the next 10 years at NASA. And they break it up into what each mission is, they're planning to give each mission. And there's one new mission that they're planning, and that's mainly to the Uranus moons around Uranus, or Uranus. I don't know how you want to say it, but they're getting pretty excited about the Uranus missions. I'm not an expert at all, or I don't know much about the stuff. I know a while back I did an interview. My name is Paul Mamakos, Prince Paul Mamakos, Paul S. Mamakos. I did a chat with Dr. Caitlin Ahrens of Goddard Space Flight Center. Let me know if there's any wind on the mic. And she had mentioned some of the moons around Uranus. So even back then, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, she had mentioned that as a good thing. So the first mission that NASA is planning to spend billions of dollars on is to go to no specific moon, but to go to the moons of Uranus, I think, and take a bunch of photos of the surface of the planet as well. So maybe we could get the James Webb Space Telescope to go to take some photos of that planet and moon system as well, and maybe we could be interesting to get more stuff that way as also. There was also the James Webb took I think a thing of Pluto or something like that. I forgot which planet it was, but they found like in the infrared, it had like a section that looked like land, and another section was green, but you know, they were just assigning their own colors to it. But so with the James Webb Telescope, they've been able to get some nice photos of some of the planets in our solar system. Oh, it was one of the moons. I think it was Titan or something like that they'd gotten that photo of in the infrared that they published. Anyway, so it turned out on after the decadal, NASA's response to the decadal thing was that they're looking at doing the Uranus thing, and they were considering Enceladus as a second option behind the Uranus mission, but they weren't planning to take any action on that, to consider actually moving forward on that until 2026, because they were having severe financial issues at NASA. And if they went ahead full speed in 2026 with an Enceladus mission, they really wouldn't get onto the surface of Enceladus until 2050s. The 2050, maybe 2053. So they're looking at like the way they're planning these missions is a 30-year to success mission type of thing. I think they're planning to orbit it's going to be like 7 years or something in orbit, in transit. It would be 2 years in orbit. So about 7 years in transit, 2 years in orbit around the moon, Enceladus, and then they would land, and then they would do like another 2 years on the surface. So, but that would, I mean, they wouldn't launch until maybe the 2030s or later. So, it's if they're not even going to consider planning and going and moving forward with the mission until 2026, and that's if they have cash, which they don't. It's gonna take more than 30 years to get there at the earliest if NASA were to do it. And I guess if SpaceX were to continue to make progress, all these missions would become cheaper, more affordable, and then maybe there would be more missions. I think there's like 40 different missions that NASA currently has in the works for all around the solar system. So it's not like they're slacking off or anything. And I don't know if it's all NASA. It's many different private organizations that are working with NASA. So, but it's exciting. We're in exciting times. But I'm here at the Ocean Cam or Space Corp to move forward an ocean camera mission on any or all the different moons in the solar system. So that's what I'm promoting here at Ocean Cam. And the payoff for investors is that each gallon of water on another moon or planet in a container, like a 1 gallon jug of water that you can get at Walmart or any supermarket on the globe, you typically pay anywhere from $1.30 to $2, depending on the kind of water you're going to get. If you want alkaline water, it'll cost a little bit more. If you want flavored water, it'll cost a little bit more. But for all intents and purposes, it costs less than a gallon of gasoline to buy water here on the Earth. But that gallon of water on Mars or on Enceladus or any other moon or spaceship or space station in the solar system, anywhere in the solar system, it's going to cost around $90,000 up to $1 billion. If it's in low Earth orbit, it's going to cost about $10,000 per pound, or it's about $80,000 or $90,000 per gallon in low Earth orbit. So if we're talking about some water on Mars or Enceladus or Titan or Triton or Europa, if you want to have a space mission out there and you want to grow some vegetables or lettuce or whatever else, and you need at least a pound of water for your mission, it's going to cost $1 billion for that water. So if we were able to spend $3 billion in a private mission to get to any moon or planet in the solar system and get out there with with like 4 gallon jugs of water, if we were able to transport four of those 1 gallon jugs of water without the water, just the empty containers, to one of these moons, and if we were able to fill up those gallons, each one of them, and put a cap on it and leave it there on the surface of that moon, that water would be worth $4 billion. And we could sell it to a space organization and say, hey, we got the water at this location, would you buy it from us? And we could sell it to them, and then whenever they want to go pick it up, they can pick it up, you know? Local pickup on Mars, local pickup on Enceladus, on Europa, on our orbiter surrounding, orbiting the moon. You can pick it up anytime in the next 50 years, but it's yours to pick up. We can do something like that. So that, and then if they pay us for it, then it's theirs, and they can pick it up whenever they want. If they don't pick it up, then it's still, then they forfeit it within that time frame. So that's how we can make money as a private company, selling water all over the solar system. That's how we can fund the missions on these private missions. NASA is balking at spending $2 to $3 billion to go to Enceladus, when we know the Defense Department has lost over $2.7 trillion. They can't account for over $2 trillion worth of money in the Defense Department, but in the public sector, their entire budget is about $42 billion for the next 10 years. So, I don't believe in that stuff. That's a little bit shady. So, you're allowed to believe what you want, but what you think. That's a little bit shady, I think. They're trying to pinch pennies in the public sector, but in the defense sector, they can't account for like a couple, $2.5 to $3 trillion, at least on the books, And if they have a couple different sets of books, then we know it's a lot more than a couple $1 trillion, So. Yeah, secret programs can. Hey, elongated. Yeah, elongated says water is life. In space, life is not possible, but with water, it is. Food, water, storage. I would have to disagree with you there, elongated. I would say that there's nothing in the universe that's not alive. So life is everywhere. There's nothing that's not dead. So water is not necessary, but the type of life that we are is necessary for our type of life. I mean, everything's alive. So in my worldview, there's nothing that's not alive. So yeah, and maybe there's I don't think everything needs water, but you know, a lot of things that we like have water. So if we want to survive on this planet and off planet, if we want to live a long time, if we want to spread our seed throughout the galaxy and the universe, yeah, we're going to need some water. And you know, maybe we'll find some other similar life forms on those planets out there. When we gather that water, maybe we'll be able to piss off a few aliens that have been quiet up to this point, and we'll be able to start a new intergalactic war, and we'll have proof in the public sector that there are in fact aliens out there. And not only are there aliens, but we've managed to piss them off by taking some of the water. But if they choose not to show their presence when we take the water, then it's too bad for them, because they want to hide and be a little scary. They want to be scared of us rather than to embrace us and welcome us and talk with us. So anyway, if the defense sector has been hiding the aliens and the other non-human life forms out there for many years, if they happen to be hiding them and they didn't tell us they were hiding them, and when we went out there and we actually met them and we took the water, we stole the water, that's going to be too bad, because they decided to make a pact with the military. So it's on them. It's not on us that we happen to go and find out that they were on the planet and we took the water. So too late. I mean, if they want to scheme against the public all these years, and then they get angry when we take their water. It's like, well, you didn't tell us you were there, so when we took the water, you know, we didn't know where you were there. So if we were destroying your population by taking the water, well, that's really your fault, because you chose to side with a satanic military and to deprive the public of the knowledge that you were given to the defense sector and military sector. So too bad. All right. Anyway, so let's get back to that. NASA is not planning to go to Enceladus for the next 30 years. And the reason why they didn't make it 40 years, why they made it 30 years, is because they still want to have hopes of getting employed by NASA for the next 30 years. So if they stretch it out to 30 years instead of 40, they'll still get funding. If they said 40 years, NASA would probably tell them, get lost, you have no hopes of doing this because you're going to die before you finish the mission. We want young people who are going to finish the mission. If you're going to retire before the mission is completed, we're not going to trust you. So that's why they said 30 years. 2050 is when they're planning to land on Enceladus if they launch in 2026. So. But again, in the defense sector, I believe we've already been to Enceladus. We've been to every moon in the solar system, in the military sector. So it's really not an exploration. It's not a discovery. It's more of it's a hope for the public to advance the non-secret portion of our civilization. Right now, we get a lot of secret stuff, and that's why the astronauts have to sign a disclosure and why they're not allowed to talk freely. But so if you were just like in some of those sci-fi movies, you have it's like a commercial project, but when the actual success of the mission is happening, that's when the ex-military people on the program start taking control and subverting the mission and maybe killing a few people or whatever. But that's when the military secret spies come out and they start taking over your mission and your data, and that's when it all goes private. So yeah, you got to watch out for those ex-military people and ex-NASA people, because you can't trust them. They're like mercenaries. Yeah, I'm trying to change that so that we actually get the views out here to the public sector, and that we can not hide our discoveries, and that we can actually stop lying to each other and actually see what's out there. A lot of many of the missions for the NASA the U.S. government, those people at the U.S. government who call themselves NASA are really just the U.S. government. So many of these people who are in secret societies, and they're maybe a Mason or whatever, and they like to name their missions after like ancient gods like Osiris Rex, and all these different names are from like some Masonic or some type of cult that the atheistic, agnostic scientists in those cults like to worship. And I think it's important to realize that if God does exist, if we are God, if we're all part of God, or if there is a being that exists for eons of time, was never created, will never be destroyed, then if God is everything, or whatever you want to call it, if the source is everywhere and everything is of the source, and there's only one consciousness throughout the universe, throughout the galaxy, if there's only one consciousness throughout the galaxy, and you're worshiping, or if you're sacrificing another person to appease or to make happy this other being, when you realize that there is maybe only one awareness throughout the whole galaxy, there's only one consciousness throughout the whole universe, if God is killing God to make God happy, then that's where you start to realize the stupidity of that sacrifice, because it doesn't make sense that God would kill itself to make itself happy. God killing itself, sacrificing God to make God happy. You know, if God's not happy, then sacrificing something else isn't going to make it happy. You know, so you know, that whole sacrifice of another being to make a third being happy. If there's only one being, then you're really just wasting your time by going out and trying to kill somebody else to make a sacrifice. So if you want to be happy, be happy. You don't actually have to go and cause harm to yourself to make yourself happy. You know, it doesn't make sense. So you know, there are a lot of people who are of the satanic or of the cultish viewpoint, or of the self-serving viewpoint, who are in the higher echelons of NASA and also in politics. And so these people have no understanding of the spiritual nature of the universe. And so they probably have a death wish too. So they like to do a lot of things and think they're being sneaky or sly. And some of these things involve naming the missions after Osiris, or some of these different names that they've come up with. Apollo, you know, these are Greek gods, you know. And so it's kind of, it's going to be interesting how this all unfolds as we go forward into the future. I myself have been out of body many times. I'm not a novice. I'm definitely knowledgeable about the spirit throughout the galaxy and the universe. So there are many other people who don't know anything about this, and they're in the higher echelons of NASA and stuff. And yeah, it's fun to watch, but it's also sad, very sad. But maybe they will succeed in a mission to Europa, or maybe possibly to Titan, and they will actually show some of that unedited information to the public. I actually found a lot of interesting websites today at NASA and some other stuff where they had some interesting information. So when I saw that initial response to the decadal submission, that led to a lot of places. You can go to the nasa.gov website, and they have a new, kind of a nicer looking home page there, so nasa.gov, and you can look at some of the there's more than one survey. There's a bunch of different things that they have up there on the different moons and stuff. And I looked at it again today, and it was kind of interesting to look at. And I've got a lot of websites I went across today, and I'm excited to keep looking at that info. Yeah. All right, I'm going to look at the chat. I've been talking, spurring my mind here. Let me see what's going on here. Hey, Texas Discount Land, I'm good. Oh yeah, I saw your message a little while back. Yeah, I'd like to chat with you. My phone number is here in the Texas Discount. is in the if you go to the home page here on YouTube for Ocean Camera Space Corp, my phone number is there. I did remember to put my phone on Do Not Disturb tonight, so, but that's my number. You can text me there. Any of y'all can text me, and we can chat about something. Oh yeah, my name's Paul, but my company is it's focused on doing a mission to Enceladus or any or all the other moons in the solar system. So to get the surface, subsurface level imagery of the ocean on these different moons and planets in the solar system. So I want to help the public get that visual of the oceans on the different moons and planets in their solar system, because up till now NASA doesn't want to show us the imagery of the surface of these moons or planets with the liquid on it, you know, with the water. And we know there's oceans out there too. So up till now they haven't shown us any of that imagery. And so I'm here to facilitate or to accomplish that mission myself. I've actually been in a dream where I actually was told that I was like the first one to accomplish that. And I was also accused of of stealing the water. So that's why I mentioned stealing the water. That's why I mentioned some of the other alien stuff. I have met other beings out of body, so for me that's a given. But I did have a dream as well where I was accused of stealing the water, and it was said that I was the first one to actually take the water. So yeah, I'm planning to take the water from the different moons and planets and use it for the survival of humanity, and also to change the history and the textbooks that say there's I don't want it to say that there's good evidence that there's water on these different moons and planets. I want there to be I don't want there to be evidence. I want it to be a fact. You know, I want us to have the imagery, get that video of the surface, oceans and subsurface, and also to have the water, extract the water, pump it into some containers, and actually take that water and use it for some purpose that maybe we want to make some cement, maybe we want to make some toothpaste, or maybe we want to what else? Maybe we want to make a collage with some water paintings out there in space, and we're going to need the water. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to afford to you know, make the paintings. So, you know, like you would do a watercolor painting. The first watercolor painting in space should be we should be able to afford doing some watercolors out there. Hey, Ghost Creeper 243, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Says it needs to be a little bit gritty, like the 80s when you smooth it over, it pushes the sticking up stones flat and level. Interesting. I haven't really been looking at the thing here. Yeah, we can't even pave good sidewalks anymore. That's right. Oh, okay. Ghost Creeper 243 says that's why I'm the SpaceX CEO. Good stuff. Yeah, I want to carry these missions out too, Elongated. Elongated says I'm not the Lord. Okay, well now that's fine. I have Lord of lots of potential. I got you. Carl says everything has a soul or spirit except mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are soulless. Yes, that is a recurring message that Carl has been putting out for the last couple days. Remember, everybody, mosquitoes are soulless. That's why they got to bite you and try and get your blood so they can get your soul and have some soul. Yep, yep. Okay, along it says, I'm saying in the vacuum of space for humans, it's not possible to have a living body. Yep, and we need water to grow new life and stay hydrated. Yes, yes, that's exactly true. If we want to, you know, if we want to, what is it called, survive, you know, off the planet, we're going to have some water. I mean, if some of the people succeed at what they're trying to do, you know, we may have much less people coming forward into the future. I think Elon was saying that we don't have a population explosion problem Elon was saying, at least in one recent video, that the problems that people aren't having enough babies each time, and if the majority of people, at least in the U.S., have less than one baby or have one baby for every 2 people, then the population is going to go in half, maybe. So he also said that poor, uneducated, religious people have the most babies. So if poor, uneducated, and religious, that's the if we want to have a population boom in the United States, we need to get rid of all the universities. We need to all become even more poor, and we got to start going to church. So or become spiritual. Listen to what I'm saying is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, and we'll all become more spiritual. I would be making us become richer, you know. I guess maybe for the majority of people, being poor is a good incentive for having babies. But if we were to follow Elon's model, Elon is of the richer side of things. He is also somewhat educated, at least in engineering, and he's not religious. So he is the counter to his observation of the majority of the population. So you don't have to be poor, you don't have to be uneducated, and you don't have to be religious. And you could have more babies than the average. I think Elon has nine children. Yeah, it doesn't carry over to everybody, but at least for the majority it does. This, you know, in space, how sometimes you have those long ships, mile-long ships, and then kind of in the center you have some engines, or you have some different fuel stuff or whatever. That's what this tower kind of looks like. If we were looking at it from the side or from above and we were in space and we saw this, this might be one of those mile-long ships that we see out in space, at least in some of those sci-fi movies. If we were to remove the ground and we were to put this up in orbit, that's kind of what that would look like to me. Maybe Elon's trying to build one of those ships right here on the land. Maybe this is some testing for one of those ships with the rail system and everything for the chopsticks. Maybe that's something they're going to build out there in space with that same design. I think I just cracked the code here, everybody. Good night, Carl. From Quebec, Canada. Good night. Yeah, I'll be up a little bit longer. Maybe another, we'll see how long I go. Good to chat with you. Remember, when we get to 15,000 subscribers, I will be giving away 15 free tours here at the SpaceX site. It might be first come, first serve, or first to claim them, or maybe if they were in groups of people that sign up in like hundreds of people at a time, I would give maybe one free ticket for every 100 confirmed subscribers from any one person with a group of people or something like that. So we'll see how it works out, but there's plenty of free tours if we get to those numbers, as we get to those numbers. So yep. I get some views here to the left a little bit. I see something kind of a little bit unusual. Let me get the Starship here to the right. Starship here on the right. There is a aerial lift, aerial man lift. There's some manly aerial lift. I don't know how we're going to call it, but there is a lift up there next to the Starship. They're doing some nose cone work at this late time of night here. Kind of interesting. 10:38 p.m.-ish. Can't really see much. A lot of blurriness is what we see. Okay, Carl says, I've heard they may be removing scaffolding from Starship 24. Ken, good night, man. It's getting late for you too, I know for sure. 11:39 in Florida. Good stuff, man. And I watched a music video tonight, well, this afternoon, from a lady in, I think it's some maybe Argentina or Brazil or something like that. Her video about the ocean or whatever, she was swimming in the ocean, and her boyfriend was with her, and the boyfriend was holding the camera filming her while she talked, while she sang, right, and swam. So it was about a 2-3 minute video of this girl singing and her boyfriend holding the camera filming her while she also swam. It was about maybe 20 lyrics in the whole song. She had like 550 million views. You believe that? Over the last 3 years, I think it was. 550 million views with a girl swimming and talking about her love for her boyfriend or something like that. That's pretty insane, everybody. So I'm gonna see if I can write a song for a lady to sing. She was not naked, no she wasn't, and she wasn't a model either, so. Douglas says, I've been waiting since 2017 to see a launch. Wow, that's a long time. Hey, Gary, you know, I know, I was so surprised. Yeah. I actually, she's beating all those other ladies who are naked, you know, and she has her clothes on. So. I mean, she had a bathing suit on, but I think it was more like a wetsuit, a wetsuit than a bathing suit. So it wasn't all that flashy, and whatever. I think I might have to change the lyrics and have a woman singing a love song to while another. So this is my plan. I don't want to give it all away, but I'm gonna have to give some of it away. So I'm gonna give you guys, if you're a YouTuber, some information here. I hope you don't do it because I'm thinking about doing it myself, and I'm not gonna give you the exact thing here, but here's the plan. If you make $100 million, maybe give me 5% or something like that. But here it goes. This is the video. There's a guy with a bunch of tattoos on his arm. He's holding the camera with his girlfriend swimming in the ocean on a little boogie board, and occasionally she goes underwater, and at one point through the video he taps her on the butt. But beyond that, she's wearing some a wetsuit, one of those black wetsuits, and she's not all that spectacular of a singer, and she has about 15 to 20 lines and some, you know, for lyrics, and it's in Spanish or some other Brazilian or something like that. So I guess with so many people living in those countries and few people making good videos, and if you have a woman and she's all happy because her boyfriend's holding the camera filming her, and then she's talking about how if they got separated it would be okay, but she really loves them and stuff like that, and how she loves God and everything else, and then you get 500 million views. How about that? So I might have to hire, I might have to write some lyrics or pay someone to modify the lyrics. This is what I was thinking. If the easiest way to do something like that is to either me myself write some lyrics that are along the same lines of things, but in a different way that I believe in. And then hire a woman to sing it, hire a man to film her while she sings it, and have them in the water on some other type of surfboard or something like that, and then see how that does. That's what I think might have to be the thing, or put it in another country and do the same thing. See, because you got to remember that for every 1,000 views, you get about $1. So if you got 500 million views, that's going to be about anywhere from $500,000 to a couple $1,000,000 in ad revenue. So they swept the floor with that video there. There's a website where you can go and you can put in the URL of a YouTube channel, and you can see how much money they made. So you can get exactly a really good estimate, a range of how much these people are making from these videos. So yeah, 500 million views is going to be at least $500,000 up to a couple $1,000,000 in just from that one song. Yep. Well, yeah, if someone else put it on another channel, you know, it takes a while for people to start going to the channel and everything else. So, you know, I don't know, you might have to write a few songs. Yep. Anyway, that's the, I just gave you the blueprint of what I saw after watching that video. Yep, Carl says, for $250,000, I'll wear a wig and lipstick. Yep. And it'll only take you like 5-6 minutes too, so. Okay, Texas Discount says, can you camp there overnight if you own a vacant lot in Boca Chica? The answer to that is a resounding yes, you can. You can even camp out here on the side of the road. On the side of the road over here, you can camp out even though you don't own the property. On this left side of the road, it's all private, so anyone can camp out here on the left side as well without having to own it. But yes, and you have to. It's recommended that you carry out any of your waste, both biological and non-biological. But you know, if you got some other way of doing it, then all the best to you as well. We are here on film, and I will do as I'm told on camera. I'm not going to spill the beans here. Okay, you're here for the best 5 minutes. Tom Tick, awesome. Hey, troll account. All right. Let's see what else we can get. All right, let's see. Yep, that's everything, everybody. Yeah, if you missed all the excitement in this video, I would say scroll back to the beginning and watch it again. There was a lot of excitement at the very, very, very beginning, right before I started. Okay, but we're looking at giving away the Ocean Chem truck when we hit 1 million subscribers. So subscribe if you're here. If you're here for the first time, let everybody know they can win a truck. It's valued at anywhere from $3,000 up to $10,000. I've spent over $10,000 on it over the last couple of years. It's a good truck, and it can be yours when we hit 1 million. Yeah, the idea behind giving away the truck is not only it'll be a celebration for reaching 1 million, but I mean, you couldn't pay anybody enough money to get you 1 million subscribers. So at that point, I'd be happy to give away the truck. That would be a great celebration and kind of a giving back, or just a great thing to do at that point. Kind of a lifetime achievement kind of things, you know. I would definitely give away the truck for that number of people. I think at like 100,000, you get some type of plaque from YouTube saying congratulations on being content creator, etc. Isn't that true? I think at 100,000 you get like some type of plaque. At a million, I think you probably get something else too. I don't know, but it's also a journey of learning how to make good videos, you know. So I've been watching some other successful YouTubers today, and I'm continuing to learn. I watched a couple lessons on how to continue to make better videos today as well. So I'm doing the work, and I'm seeing, I'm taking the steps forward to, I don't know if you saw it, we have a new banner on the YouTube channel here. Okay, Carl says silver at 100,000 and gold at $1 million. So what's the value of those plaques? Is it, how heavy are they? Are they actually silver and gold? Gary Holshot says, at $1 million, you get a picture of Carl West on a wig and lipstick. Try playing with Pip in the video. I don't know what that means. Tom says OBS. Yeah, I don't know. But there's a new banner on the side here, and I'm looking for some words that I can use that say roughly subscribe. I'm looking for some words that say something like that. Hitler, you like it? Yeah, it's a good banner. Picture in a picture. Oh, I got your picture in a picture, Tom. Let me go back to that. I'm also looking for skits or things that I can do on camera that are exciting, or that kind of reveals something or shows something. If you know of if you got any challenges for me, let me know of a challenge that you can come up with. Yesterday they came up with giving away the truck, so I said yes, I will give away the truck. And we also came up with some other challenges about giving away the freight tours and stuff like that. Andrew, right on, right on. Andrew, I don't know what you're referring to though, even though it's impressive or whatever's impressive. I don't know what you're talking about. Something's impressive. I'm not sure what it was or who you're talking to, but that sounds good. Maybe there's a little bit of a lag here in the chat, so yep. Okay, what are they doing on the orbital launch mount underneath? Hey, Raul. What kind of fuel do those use? Okay. Yeah, oh, those little things that are running around. Yeah, they're not on electrical. They are some type of fuel. It's it's probably gasoline. 16 months, Tom Tech, 7 more until 2 years. Awesome, man. Awesome, awesome. Congrats, Tom. Good stuff. It's been about, let's see, September, October, November. It's been about 15 months that OceanCam has been officially, 15 months. September 28th of 2021, I officially incorporated the company here, OceanCam Space Corp. But I started the channel in March of 2021, so we've been doing video longer than that, then it's been incorporated. But you've been here longer than the company has been official, so good on you, Tom. Good stuff. So underneath the tower, apparently they're adding more protection to the thing so it doesn't get burnt up when they do the static fire or the launch with the 33 Raptor engines. They keep singeing the, I guess whatever's down there, they keep kind of burning it away or something like that. You know, they're kind of, I think they're, I've got something else to say about the orbital launch platform. Just a minute, we got something coming down the road here. Dun, 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 dun. Looks like some something conduit, PVC or something like that. Yeah, so about the orbital launch platform, yeah, that little conduit there is going to fix it, right? Joel. with all the water we've gotten out around here, I was thinking about this myself. I'm wondering, how deep did they dig? Because I know a lot of the roads around here, they dig away the dirt, and then they actually put in this big stone, and I guess they compact the stone down so that they can keep adding more stone and layering different fabric on top of that stone and different types of layers of dirt or stone. So, Andrea, how about optical lens zoom for the iPhone? Yeah, I think I might have one of those. Actually, I think I have one in the truck. Yeah, I could go get that actually. I do have one, around 3 feet. Okay, Andrea, let me prop up the, I'm gonna actually maybe use it for the first time. Let me go get that. Okay, if something happens here with the camera, I will fix it when I get back, but give me about a little bit. I'll be back within a minute or two. All right, thank you. See you soon. I'm running to the truck right now. I don't know if you can still hear a couple 4 feet of camera. Let's see if I can. Having like a little pouch. Stuff. I've done so much traveling the last few months, that I've moved stuff into different areas. Let me see. There's a couple spots I can check. Not there. All this time talking. There's one more spot. Right. Get back to the. Okay. Running back now. Okay, what a journey, what a journey. Man, I'm heating up here. I got a couple sweaters on and everything. Let me know if you heard any of what I just said while I was gone. So Andrea says, James Webb made an incredible shot of Titan. Yeah, I talked a little bit about that earlier, right? You could see they had the infrared and they were looking at the different colors. And I think on one side of it, it's kind of like, it looked a little, you know, these aren't actual colors, but it looked a little green. And there was like a little area that was, shoot, it just came apart. It looked like land or something. I gotta wipe off the lens came apart when I guess I unscrewed it. I wasn't supposed to unscrew it like that. All right, I'm brushing it off. I am gonna give it a shot though when I put it back together. Okay, I know what it is. The cover had a piece in it which came off when I yeah, it's going back together. I'll show it to you here in the camera too. I'll zoom out and show it to you what it looks like before putting it on. Not exactly sure how it goes back together, but I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I can figure it out. Not gonna spend too much time doing this either, but I will give it a shot. Anyway, I guess I can hold it by hand. Maybe that's what I can do. It clips on, but the four lenses kind of came apart when I took it out of my pocket. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yep, I will show it to you on camera. I will figure out another day, but I will show it to you. This is the lens. I guess I can, I will show it to you. This is one of the lenses. And this is the clip that it clips, and there are a couple other lenses which it all comes together in a certain special way. I do not think I'm going to be using this tonight though. Something like that, and the other lens goes on the back here. But it's got a, instead of just being two lenses, there's a third lens. And I'm not gonna figure out in the dark how to do it right now. So, all right, I'll put it away. I do have it out, and I will start using it. mean, unless it's something I could just, without the other two lenses, just put over and start. I think I need the other two lenses to make it work. Let me do that once more. Yeah, let me go to the right here. No, yeah, that ain't doing it either. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have all three lenses together to make it work. All right, thank you though. I'll catch up on the chat here. Juan says there's a local rock station in Brownsville called 105.5 Rocket. I never heard of that. That's good stuff. I think that's AC/DC I was singing there. A long way to the top. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Good song. All right, putting that away. Yeah, they work. That's good. Thanks, Andre. They do work. That's good news. I think I checked it out a while back, and I think if I did check it out, I think I remember that it did work. So it's been a few months though. I bought it a few months ago at like a thrift store, and I kept it. All right, good stuff, good stuff. One says he uses an app called Tuner, and it appears on the app for iPhone and Android. That's cool. Is that where you could sing into it and then it would find the song for you? Okay, it's a Sarmonic, TomTech. It's a Sarmonic mic, S-A-R-M-O-N-I-C, or Sarmonic. And there is a dead cat. I don't currently have it on the mic, but it's like a $150, $200 mic. It has a transmitter which connects to the, sounds perfect. Maybe missed a few. Oh, wow, that's quite a distance then. They're breaking up at times also. Okay, awesome. Gary, Carl. Yeah, it's a Sarmonic, and it has a transmitter which connects to the iPhone, and the actual transmitter is on the on my shirt. One of the things about this is though, there's a certain type of the stereo connector that you have on many things like a headphone or something else is not, this Sarmonic system uses a special wires. So you might have to go to a guitar store or something to get a connector for it to work on some other type of connection that you want to, for it to work with. So when you start getting into mics and things like that, the the cables, even though they look similar to headphones or the other simple cords, they don't actually work when you try it with your mic. So took me a while to. I had this mic for over a year before I actually got it to work. You know, not because it was too difficult, just because I didn't have the headspace to try and figure it out. But now, having done it once, like anything, if I got another mic, I would more quickly know where to look or who to ask. And you know, yeah, it's useful to have a good mic. So there are some lavalier mics which, although they are cheap and they do plug into things, sometimes they need a power source, even though they say they can you can plug it into your phone or whatever. Sometimes they do need an outside external power source, and if you're, maybe it'll work for your computer but not for your phone or something like that. So yeah. All right, let's get back to shooting some film and video. Thank you for the contributions to the channel. That's good stuff. I appreciate it. Let's see. Back to this. So underneath the, yeah, I was talking about, I wonder how deep they had to dig to, because this soil around here is all sand and everything else. So what, if you're an engineer, if you have any knowledge about this, it would be nice if they shared the plans for the digging of the original footers and everything else, and how the plans for how they built this orbital launch mount, because it's the soil around here is it's not a bog, but it's more like a marsh, and there's a lot of sand, and we're only about probably 10 feet or less above sea level here, so it's all, you know, it's all water and sand. So I wonder how deep they had to dig, and how much concrete and other rebar and other whatever stuff they had to pound into the ground there to, so that it would, not only would it be vertical, but it wouldn't be off by too many degrees, because they want this thing to shoot up, right? They want it to launch up vertically into the sky, and if it were off even a couple degrees, that would be bad news, right? So how much difficulty did they have in getting this thing to be not only level on its own, but with all that massive weight on top of it, you know? I'd be interested in seeing those plans, how deep into the earth they actually dug, and that type of thing. Because I'm thinking of doing something similar on a much smaller scale on the property that I have here, and it's the same situation. It's only about within 2 miles of here at the launch site. So I'm wondering, well, if I want to put, if I really want to make my camera platform, so if there were some heavy waves or it got submerged or whatever, that it would still be there, or if there's some strong wind. If I really want to make a concrete platform so that I can put the satellite dish or the microwave dish on top of it, or some other thing, so my camera wouldn't shake in the wind, and have a good platform over there. What's the standard for if you're by the beach, you have really fine sand, and you're about only a couple feet above MSL, mean sea level? What are the guidelines without having to pay an engineer $500, you know, to, you know, how deep you have to put the footers into the ground and that type of stuff? That's something I'd like to know. I haven't done the research yet, but you know, I'm curious. Juan says there's a 105.5 rocket. I guess that's FM, and once you have the app, you can tune in. Type in KRIX and you'll see the 105.5 rocket and jam out. Oh, that's cool, Juan. I'll have to check that out. The MyTuner app to listen to 105.5 rocket out of Brownsville, Texas. Thanks, Juan. Carl says you go roughly 3 feet deep, lay fabric, Supac or equivalent, put 1 foot of 3-inch rock, then ag base compacted in 8-inch lifts up to grade, then your surface coarse gravel, concrete, or asphalt. So again, you're saying dig 3 feet deep, put some fabric down, and then put 1 foot of 3-inch rock. 1 foot of 3-inch rock. 1 foot of 3 inch. So the rocks are 3-inch size rocks, and you put a foot of that, I guess. So that'll bring you up to 2 feet deep, and then ag base compacted in 8-inch lifts. So ag base, I'm not really sure what that aggregate, maybe that's aggregate base compacted in 8-inch lifts, and every 8-inch you put some fabric. So that would be about three of those layers of 8-inch, another layer 8-inch, and another layer. So between each one of those lifts, you put that fabric down, and then your surface course, gravel, concrete, or asphalt. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. That helps a lot, Carl. 3 feet deep, put some fabric down, put 1 foot of 3-inch rock, and then, or 3-inch rock, and then ag base compacted in 8-inch lifts. Okay, aggregate. Thank you. I was looking at I was going to do a video this morning, and that's when after I got the video footage, that boat came in, but there was some fabric there that I was taking video of the fabric in different locations, and because I initially saw a couple rolls of this fabric that they had over there at the new by the 4th road in Boca Chica. They're building. They brought in a bunch of new buildings. I guess I'll have to finish that video tonight and I'll post it since I'm talking about it. And so, yeah. And then I did, as I walked around the site this morning, I saw they had this fabric underneath different areas. So they're using the fabric to keep, I guess, the soil from moving around as part of almost like a glue, but it's a fabric. And I guess they're layering it as they lay more aggregate on top of it. So that's cool. Right on. If I hadn't seen that this morning, I wouldn't know what you're talking about there. But that's good stuff. Carl says, ag base is short for aggregate base. It's a mixture of aggregate, clay, and fines. It's commonly used under roadways and building slabs. Cool. And is that just to keep it, is it almost like the roots of a plant, the rubber or whatever it is, that fabric that they lay down, which has holes in it and everything else, is that just almost like serving as roots, like a plant would, to keep the soil from shifting around and stuff? That's what I was getting. Carol says the fabric is now sold under many different names. Supac was the first name for it, developed and patented by Phillips Petroleum. Okay, interesting. They use it quite a bit here. Even on this road in front of us here, they laid down that type of fabric between the different layers of the large stone that you were mentioning before. They did several layers of that fabric and then stone and then more fabric. So they had it about 8 feet deep, this the highway here in front between me and the launch site there. They dug down at least 8 feet, and they used big stone and everything else. So. I'm coughing on my saliva here. Carl says, it holds the materials in place and lets the water filter through. Okay, cool. All right, they're gonna get over here. They just started some venting over there by the orbital tank farm. And earlier this evening, I wanted to mention there was some venting over by the suborbital tank farm as well. So They're bringing in some gases over there on the suborbital side as well. Maybe they'll do a static fire or something eventually with the Starship over there again. I think we're looking at December 7th for today, if I recall. So they have another to the 31st of December to do a launch if they want to meet Elon's time frame for wanting to do a launch before the end of the year. I think it's too tight. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't know that they're shooting for the end of the year, but I think it's a little bit too tight for them to make that end of the year launch. Plus, people are going to be going on holidays, and they do respect the important holidays around here. So, unless they want to shoot for the 31st, but that's quite the risk. That's quite the spectacle if they didn't make it on the December 31st. It would either be a great year or a bad year. If they made it, it would be a great year, 2023. If they did not make it, then it would be a bad year for the rest of 2023. So I don't know if they want all that publicity for the 31st of December. I think it's also worth noting that Gary says believe. Yeah, believe, right? Yep. Today is the, I believe it's either today or yesterday is the full moon. So we're going to be going into, we're going to start going toward the new moon after, I think we're now on course for the new moon in the next 2 weeks. So if we're on the 7th now, it'll be the 21st when the new moon happens, or around there, maybe a little bit after. But we're in the decreasing of the moon, so the news cycle might turn a little bit negative if it's not already negative enough. We're going to be seeing probably some results in the stock market and some of the other markets. So I'm not following any of the markets right now, but things are going to start getting going. We're going to get a lot of bad news probably in the next 2 weeks, over the next 2 weeks. And so there's going to be a lot of trouble in the economy and struggle all over the world for the next 2 weeks until we get to the new moon. And then a couple days after the new moon, maybe the 23rd or the 24th, we'll start getting the good news cycle, and we'll close out the year in some good news. So that's what we probably have to look forward to over the next 3 weeks. But I'm trying to, I'm looking for good ideas about things that I can do. I'm looking for good ideas. And I've started doing some of the, yeah, Andre says, Souza, there's too many things to do before they try and launch, probably only in 2023. I would agree to that. There's just, it would be, even if everything went perfect, that would be a very, I don't even know if they have enough time to do it all. They gotta, I guess, finish working on the orbital launch platform. They gotta finish cladding up the tower, and then they also have to do a static fire, 33 engine static fire on the booster. And then I don't know if they want to do a static fire with the Starship on the booster too. They were doing some fit tests a while back, so, and they're also. Looks like they're doing some type of stuff to the Starship right now too. They're, I don't know what they're doing. I haven't really looked, but they got all the scaffolding around it right now. So, yeah, within 3 weeks, right? We're at the 17th. We're the 7th right now. It would be just over 3 weeks, right? It would take us to the 28th, 29th, 30th. It'd be 24 days till the end of the year. It seems too close, and they got the holidays and everything else. So, yeah. And Andre said probably another static fire on the Starship too, huh? Yeah. So, safe. It's probably safer to say probably around February, maybe February at the earliest, maybe March next year. That would be my guess, but I don't work at SpaceX and I don't have any inside connections, so I don't know any information. But I can commend SpaceX on a big turnout here as far as trucks on site. They've had full time almost every day of the week. They have at least since I've been here, December 5th when I got back or whatever. The parking spaces here at nighttime have been full with vehicles. So they're working around the night, at least throughout the night. I haven't really been spending my time here during the day, but I assume they had been here during the daytime as well. So they're going all out right now, at least. Yeah, Carl says the overlaunch mount has to be redone as well. Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, that's what usually happens on the nighttime show. We just kick the bucket a little bit and see what comes up, share any news, any information, and see where the conversation goes. Some nights we talk about one thing, other nights we talk about something else. I never know. I talk about some general things, but I also mix it up a bit when I have some ideas or whatever. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be here a little longer, but that's typically what goes on here at nighttime. It used to be about a year ago, at nighttime is when the important stuff would happen. Around 11 o'clock is when they would start. We're past the 11 p.m. time frame now, so maybe 11:45-ish is when they used to roll different things down the highway here from the build site to the launch site. So many times, often, I would be leaving around 11:30 or something, and then I'd catch some type of equipment or something coming down the highway from the build site. I'd get out of the truck and take the camera out, or sometimes I'd be here in the beginning, and they would roll something down the way here, and we would still be here at night during the live stream. So that's one of the reasons for being out here late. In addition to, it's just a good time to be down here. It's nice to be out during the nighttime after finishing up whatever I wanted to do or whatever you or other people want to do. It's just a good time to be out here and look at the stars a little bit and see what SpaceX is doing. Andrew says after the first launch, there'll probably be a lot of others in rapid succession. Yeah, that'd be great. I can see that happening. Okay, Carl says, they strongly suspect they will take a lot of damage when they do the launch and spend considerable time rebuilding. Very interesting, very interesting. Yep, wow. Apparently, I've said this before, but metal in space, when you smelt it in space, it's at least 100, maybe 10, 100, 1,000 times stronger. It's also 10, 100,000 times lighter. So if they were able now, between now and the time of launch, to smelt some metal in space and have it and shape it into a flat form, they could use that on some of the areas of the orbital launch mount to protect it from the heat, and maybe even make some pieces of the Starship out of it. Maybe they can make the skin. Maybe they could forego any of the heat tiles and just make some metal up there in space and use that for the belly of the Starship, because it's supposed to be 1,000 times lighter and stronger as well. So maybe it also have some heat properties. You know, maybe since it doesn't have the impurities that happen when you smelt metal on Earth throughout the metal. If you did it in space, maybe it would also be more heat resistant, allowing them to forego any need for heat tiles. So that could be the solution. Maybe they just got to get up there into space and start doing some of that metallurgy and test out the results. Metallurgy, there we go. There is a bit of dust here tonight. Probably gonna wind it down the next 10 minutes. Getting late. Yeah, good night, Andre. I am definitely open to brainstorming about ideas for videos or for things to get. I don't know if you saw it, but Phidias put out a short video today. He said he had one of his friends visit him by surprise yesterday, and the video they put out today was that his friend that visited him yesterday, that flew in from somewhere, got onto Twitter today and actually got into Elon's office and talked with him for about 15 seconds. So his friend who hey, Sir Chris, his friend who arrived yesterday, actually, they thought he was a Twitter employee, so he made his way into Elon's office and they chatted for about 15 seconds. So even though Phidias has been trying to hug him for quite a while, his friend just showed up and did it in one day. So. Yeah. They escorted him out of the building though, and they got Elon out of the room. You know, it's a security risk for that stuff to be happening, I guess. But Carl says rubbing two pieces of metal together in space could cause cold welding of the pieces. After the first spacewalk, they almost didn't get the door shut because the hinges were trying to weld together. That's very interesting. I gotta read up and learn more watch some videos about cold welding. Sir Chris, very good to see you. Yeah, I'm still on. Yep, good stuff. I got you now. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Cold welding, huh, Sir Carl? I'll probably be on at about another 5 minutes. Wind it up in 5 minutes. Tilt up here on the tower. Gemini 4, says Carl. If you jumped off the tower, that would be kind of what it looked like. Yeah, you'd be in front of the tower just dropping, and then that's why I did it that way. I guess this is kind of a sound off. We got about 2.5 minutes left. This will be the final for today. It's Wednesday night. Let's see. Thanks for tuning in. It's a good thing to do for me to come out here and do some video. I like watching this kind of stuff too. I used to like watching construction when I was a kid, so for me it's kind of getting back to that, just sitting down or standing up watching the not only construction but space, you know, happening. We're here looking at SpaceX Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas, and when they want to do something, they don't go into committees for years and years and put down. There's not a big bureaucracy here at SpaceX, and they kind of move very quickly. And if this were NASA or some other public-facing government organization, this would be years and years of no action. So we're getting to see it as it, you know, in real time, and as the ideas change, so do the structures. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna say goodnight here in the next minute. Sorry, I thought it was time already, but we got another minute. Be well wherever you are watching this from, in whatever dimension or time, or wish you the best. Yep, good night, everybody. Gary, Sir Chris, Carl, Andre already left probably, but yeah, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, I wish you the best. Tom Tech, and see you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following all this time, and we'll see where this all goes. SpaceX as well as OceanCam and your stuff as well. Good night. Good day to you whenever you're watching this. Good night.